Hi, I'm Doran Barton. On May 14th, 2011, Sons of Nothing will release its latest CD, Green and Gray. It's been 5 years since their last CD, Clarity, was released. I caught up with the guys as they were rehearsing for their album release show.
See, the funny thing is that there's stuff that even extends past 5 years, like Amazed or the third part of Trap.
That's true.
The basic tracks, well, not the basic tracks, but that was demoed out, I think, even before I joined Sons of Nothing. Mm-hmm. Say that particular song was kind of an Alan Parsons vibe, and when Eric Wolfson died, I was very determined to try and give it that kind of 70s feel. So that's the outro guitar solos. I tried to get a 70s vibe. You got a univibe guitar going on in there too. So he would be the first, but the influences for me are always the same. It's going to be Marillion, Porcupine Tree, Spock's Beard, Little Dream Theater, especially at the end. Every twin lead that Thom got cringed about when he heard it via email was probably from me listening to too much Dream Theater.
To be fair, I didn't start cringing about the twin leads until like the 7th or 8th one.
Yeah, well.
At first I was like, oh, cool, great. And then, then the second one came in, okay. And then the third one, okay, obviously we're working on a theme here. That's okay, we can make that happen. And then like the 10th one, it was like, all right.
We used to have 2 guitar players. So.
That's true. That's true. You're playing for 2.
Yeah.
Except you're actually playing for like 5. There's a lot of guitar on this record.
There's a lot of guitar.
There's a lot of guitar on this record.
There's a lot of tracks on this record, way too many. We're not going to do that again.
There are also some influences that you have that are maybe not quite so overt that come out in your playing and in your expression. Like you've got a lot of ELO in you, and you've got a lot of Mark Knopfler too in your playing and your soloing.
That would be true.
So there are elements of that on the record as well, I think. When I was writing, I was we both went through a major Porcupine Tree phase. We all went through a major Porcupine Tree phase, right around the time Clarity was being recorded, and then for about a year and a half afterwards. And so there's definitely some of those elements there. When I was writing for this record, I was listening to that My Chemical Romance album, The Black Parade, a lot.
I just got back into that one too.
Yeah.
The new one's not very good.
It's not?
I don't like it.
I was listening to that album a lot, and I have a best of Crowded House that I was listening to a lot as well. And they were very influential. And also Tim Hollinger turned me onto Muse. And Muse was a big deal for a while too. I don't really think anything we recorded came out sounding like them, no. But it was really inspirational music in that they weren't afraid to go big. There was this band that could just be, they were like doing the Queen thing, where just this totally outsized, huge, dramatic, bombastic arrangements, and they did not care whether it needed to be. It still sounded like a rock band, but it didn't matter if it sounded like it needed to be played live. There's a great freedom to their music in that respect, and that was one of our sort of guiding principles as we made this record. It's like, yeah, okay, if we have to get a 10-piece band to make it sound right live, then that's what we have to do. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be big, and in some cases, I think we achieved that.
Sure.
And in some cases,
there's certainly enough tracks for that.
I'd say the answer is yes. It's both.
It's Green and Gray.
It's Green and Gray. This is basically a double album on a single disc. That's the way we've kind of chosen to frame it, because it is a lot of music and it's very dense music. And
Is that in the good meaning of the word, then?
yeah, no, there's a lot in there. There's a lot to unpack. It will reward repeated listeners. But we took it specifically that way. It's like the album definitely has a one half, a side one and a side two, or a disc one and a disc two feel to it, the way we've sequenced the songs, with a little sort of breather in the middle, and you'll understand that when you hear it, the way that's structured. And so we said, we'll do it as a double disc set, and one will be the green disc, and one will be the gray disc, and that will be, it's a whole thing. It didn't turn out that way, but all of our things that are thematic or conceptual are always after the fact. We don't write stories. We don't.
Same thing happened with Clarity.
Same thing happened with Clarity, where you write a certain songs during a certain period, and you find you're talking about a lot of the same sorts of things, and then you find ways to connect the songs. But as far as the lyrics go, I wrote all the lyrics that I wrote on the record. I wrote in a very short period of time. I think almost everything I wrote like in 2007, quite some time ago, and so it was a very concentrated period of not the same subject over and over again, but it's kind of some of the same subjects from different points of view, and a lot of what was on my mind at the time. So I think lyrically the record hangs together really well in that respect, and it does kind of tell a little mini story. There's a lot of bravado and regret and trauma and catharsis, and because if it can't be therapeutic, what's the point?
That's if you understand Thom's lyrics, anyway.
And who really does? Not I, certainly.
He likes to hide himself in them. Whereas I am a blank page.
You're a blank page. You're an open book.
No, I'm a blank page. I used to refer to someone that way. There's the open book, and then there's the blank page.
The blank page.
Just completely shallow.
I thought you did very well on this record. I thought the stuff that you wrote was very good.
I don't do the lyric thing very often.
Yeah.
I'm not very prolific in that regard.
He makes up in quality what he often does not produce in quantity. But that's okay, because I was writing for. That's why the album is so long. It's because I just couldn't shut up. I mean, most of these songs were written by. I would write the complete set of lyrics and send them to you, and then you wrote music to them. And that's most of them, isn't it?
No, maybe. I mean, you got Thrown was the other way. Feel was the other way. Maybe that's it.
I'm saying.
So yeah, maybe you're right.
I was a big blabbermouth on this album. Definitely.
That was a good way of working, though.
Yeah.
It works both ways.